Welcome to the Jazzy Eyes podcast, taking care of your vision with expert precision. Here's your host, Dr. Laura Falco.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 4 of the Jazzy Eyes podcast. I'm your co-host, Jeremy Wolf, and I'm here with none other than your host, Dr. Laura Falco. Dr. Falco, how are you doing on this glorious Monday morning?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you doing?
I am great. Feel really relieved now that I finally got in to see you. It has been, I don't know how many years since I saw an eye doctor, and thankfully I have a good report. I'm not in need of anything severe, but you hear that, listeners out there? Don't wait 4 years like I did to go see an eye doctor. You should go see at least every year to get your vision checked and make sure you are up to speed. So I want an interesting topic of conversation today, something a little bit not foreign to me, but it's distant. The idea of contact lenses. I used to wear contacts before I had LASIK surgery 15 years ago. So I have a little bit of a recollection of what that was like. But I was hoping maybe today you could share a little bit about contact lenses, soft contact lenses. The listeners on that topic.
Yes, absolutely. So contact lenses are exploding as far as the amount of different contacts there are. So today I'll talk a little bit about soft contact lens wear. There's a couple of different modalities. Most people that I end up examining, I end up putting in a 1-day lens. It's a one-wear lens. The advantages of the 1-day lens is that you do not have an opportunity for everything that's in the air to build up on the lens. Lenses stick to dust, pollen, everything that's in the air. So when you rewear a lens over and over and over, that's when patients start to have an intolerance to contact lens and their eyes feel irritated. They can't wait to get the lenses out because everything that is in your eyes and the gunk in the corner, like everything is accumulating on that contact lens. So really, truly, the healthiest way to go in a soft contact lens is to use a 1-day lens. And like even tell patients, like it's a one wear. If you put it in to play sports for a few hours, you take it out, you throw it right in the garbage. The advantages are you don't have to buy any solutions. You don't have to worry about, oh my God, how long was this contact lens in this case for? Is the case clean? Did the fluid evaporate in the case? And now the lens is funky. So you're not ever going to, people sometimes have put tap water in their cases, and then that's a whole nother issue where you can get a really serious pseudomonas infection. So it takes
hold on, back up a second there. So if you get tap water in the solution,
it's more like some patients store their lenses in
just water,
filtered tap water, thinking it's clean, and it has bacteria in it. And then they put their lens in their eye, and you can get it's called a pseudomonas infection where you could literally go blind. I mean, it's really, really bad.
That's no good.
No. So the 1-day lens is a really nice modality because you don't have to buy a solution. You go on vacation, you bring a bunch of lenses for the right eye, a bunch of lenses for the left eye. If one rips, no big deal. You've got plenty of backups. So that's probably the most common way I prescribe contact lenses for patients. There's a 2-week lens that is out there. There's really just one 2-week lens that I would say most patients end up overwearing for a month. I don't know if they think it's a month, but there's a 2-week lens out there. And then there are a few monthly contact lenses. So with the monthly contact lenses and the 2-week lenses, now you're looking at buying solution. Now you want to clean the lenses. And I'm a proponent of, even though these newer solutions have said no rub, like you could just it'll clean the contact, you should always put it in your palm and use some friction with your index finger to clean the contact, because there are things that deposit on the lenses and you do want to clean that lens before you put it in the case. There's another solution out there that's called Clear Care. It's a hydrogen peroxide solution. It is different in that you cannot just rinse hydrogen peroxide on your lens and put your lens in your eye. You will burn your eye.
I suspect not. Yeah. Hydrogen peroxide does not sound like something you want to put directly in your eye for sure.
Absolutely not. However, if you're going to have your lens sit overnight in it, it really is a fantastic cleaner. It really gives, like, think of it like a deep clean. So I really do like that solution, but you have to make sure that you know how to use it properly.
Yeah, I imagine after you let it soak overnight, before you put it in your eye, you need to then take some saline or something and wash it off before you put it in, right?
So there's those for the multi-use, like you're using the contact for more than one time, and they can also be utilized because sometimes they have parameters that are beyond the parameters prescription wise of the daily lenses. So sometimes we have to go with a monthly lens, but there are other issues also, in addition to just having the different modalities, and that's how long you put the contact lens in your eye for. So you could be wearing a one-day lens, but if you wake up first thing in the morning and the first thing you do when you get up and go to the bathroom is put your contacts in because your eyes have been closed all night, and then the last thing you do before you go to sleep is take out your contacts. And I've even had parents tell me there's dried up contact lenses on their, no offense, son's nightstand. They literally don't even wash their hands. They take their contacts out literally right before they're passing out, and they like flick them on their nightstand, which is not what we recommend.
Boys will be boys, huh?
Usually boys. So when we talk about wearing a contact lens during the day, it's still very important to understand, as breathable as these contact lenses are, it's still a foreign material you're putting in your eye. Like, think about you're putting a little saran wrap in your eye all day. And yes, it breathes more than that, but the reality is your cornea needs oxygen. So, and as we mature, what we could get away with at 25 is not what we can get away with at 45. And people don't make that jump to that being an eye issue. They're like, oh, I can't go out at 10 o'clock and go to bed at 2 and function the next day. And I used to be able to run 5 miles, and I used to be able to squat this much, and I used to. Well, it's the same thing for the eye. So you could kind of get away with maybe a little more contact lens abuse at 25. But then at 45, it's like the rubber meets the road. So
hold on. Speak for yourself. I'm like a fine wine. Okay. I get better.
Yes, we are. Mm-hmm. Right. And women, we are aging like jalapenos. So we're getting hotter as we get older. So as we get older, the cornea needs oxygen. So I tell my patients, you can't not have a pair of glasses. Contacts are always like your extra. So in the morning, it's better to put your glasses on and open your eyes and let your cornea get actual oxygen. And then at night, I never recommend waiting right before you go to bed to take out your contacts, because you're closing your eyes. Your eyes roll up, your lids come down, and then you're in the same situation, and your cornea is not getting oxygen. So over time, when you do that and you don't put glasses on to watch TV in bed, and you don't give your eyes a couple hours per day of air, the structure starts to send the cornea an emergency signal to the brain that says, I'm not getting what I need. I'm not getting oxygen. And the brain says, don't worry, I gotcha. What I'm going to do is grow in blood supply to your cornea. And what we call that is new vascularization. These are new blood vessels that don't belong in the cornea. It's a clear structure. And the body grows in blood vessels because hemoglobin in the red blood cells carries oxygen. So if you're not going to give your cornea oxygen, your body is going to find a workaround. And the workaround is growing in an abnormal blood supply to a clear structure. So this is not a good idea. And as we mature, that's what I see in my patients. So but I used to always wear, okay, I used to do a lot of things. But as you get older, your cornea needs that air. So when I see a patient that has that and I educate them about the situation, like, this is bad, this can reduce your vision permanently. You want to decrease your wear time, wear your glasses more. And the reality is those blood vessels will never go away. They're called ghost vessels. The blood will recede from the vessel, so they won't be actively, blood going in, but the vessel will remain, and it's called a ghost vessel. And depending upon how much that vessel grows into the cornea, if it grows into your central cornea, you will always be looking through a hazy ghost vessel for the rest of your life. So this is why we want to start having good contact lens hygiene. We want to take our contacts out. We want to, use the proper cleaners. We want to make sure that the body, and this is why patients have to come in once a year if they're contact lens wearer, because I have to make sure and look at that cornea with my microscope that they haven't done damage to the eye that makes them, a bad candidate. I have to make sure that we're not setting ourselves up for potential vision loss in the future. So patients are like, I don't know, I have to come in once a year. Yeah, because I have to check. I have to make sure that your cornea is still healthy enough to put that contact lens on for now.
Yeah, and I think this is important to talk about this kind of stuff because it all goes back to building strong daily habits and routines, personal hygiene, preventative. Same thing with like brushing your teeth. When you're dealing with contact lenses, it's important to have everything on a routine and get into the habits of doing that, so you don't have these downstream issues later on, for sure.
Right. And I'm totally, when patients have success with contact lenses, I'm super happy for them. Again, as we mature too, it's different when you in a multifocal progressive pair of glasses. It doesn't translate exactly, to contacts. And as we mature, our eyes become drier. And so there are newer materials that hold the moisture better. But, I would say the most popular reason for contact lens fallout as we mature is that you just can't get the same multifocal lens as you can in glasses. And then, the material, your eyes you feel it by the end of the day. But sometimes for weekends, for dressing up, whatever, we can absolutely do that. And there's no reason why. I have patients in their 70s who can put contact lenses in. It's fine as long as you're doing it the right way. So it doesn't mean you can't have them. You just have to keep a little bit of a closer watch on patients' ocular health as they mature.
All right. Very good. So I'm interested now to hear Dr. Newman's perspective. We're going to talk a little bit about more specialty types of situations. Do you have anything else that you wanted to add before we hop on with her?
Not really. I think we kind of cut, like everything else would launch us into like another 15-minute conversation. So I think we're good. The little tidbits here and there is perfect. But yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, sounds good. Dr. Falco, it's always a pleasure. I've actually had the pleasure of seeing you twice in just a couple of days. So looking forward to our next discussion together. Absolutely. And to our listeners, thanks as always for tuning in. And we will see you on the next episode of the Jazzy Eyes podcast. Everyone have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Jazzy Eyes podcast. For more information, visit jazzyeyes.com or contact 954-473-0100.